Welcome to Heal the World Show podcast, brought to you by the Healing Institute. I'm Parmelia Parham. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Healing Institute, and we are a worldwide online hub of holistic practitioners. We really want to get to the root cause of whatever your issue might be. And the reason that I created the Healing Institute is because I'm really passionate about educating people around health and healing. And that was one of the reasons I called it an institute. And so we are always looking and wanting to have holistic practitioners who really are looking for the root cause. So when our clients are coming to connect with us, we are also a international wellness community. We're not just a directory. So when we get to know each other, we all know each other's modalities. So when a client comes to see, maybe choose one of us, they actually get all of us, because if we're not the perfect fit, which is really one of the things we want to make sure that we're a perfect fit for that client, then we can refer them to the other people that are on the platform. And the other reason that I started the Healing Institute was because we did have a tragedy in our family a number of years ago. My mom passed away at age 61, and it was from a complication with her kidneys because of a medication that she had been on. And not once through all those 20 years that she was on that medication did her doctor ever mention that there could be an issue with kidneys. And so unfortunately, she died on December 15th. It was right before Christmas. I was 5 months pregnant with my son. And I say it's not only a tragedy that she died at such a young age, but my children never got to meet their grandmother. And I really, really don't want that happening for other families. So that's my passion. And that's the reason that I created the Healing Institute. And then we decided we need to have a podcast. So we're calling it Heal the World Show. And each week I invite a practitioner to come and talk about their area of expertise. And I am so delighted this week that Jessica Rickert is joining us. And Jessica is a women's coach. She also owns Jessica Rickert Coaching. And today is actually our 129th episode. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. And so today we're talking about healthy habits, because I like to also theme every month. And so April is World Health Month. So we're talking about healthy habits for April's theme of World Health Month. So welcome, Jessica. I am just delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So let's start talking about, I mean, we can get into the healthy habits for sure. I'm sure you have a nice list for us. Um, but how did you get into coaching, like as a women's life coach? We'd love to know the story behind the person.
Sure. Well, I was actually in my former career, I was an educator. So I taught first and second grade, and I did that for about 9 years. And then I went into coaching teachers. So I worked in one
Yeah.
building in an elementary school, and I coached teachers first around literacy and then just expanded into everything. And I did that for about 9 years. And the last couple of years, I was feeling unsettled and unfulfilled, and the last year of my coaching, I just kept saying, I'm not living my best life. This is
Mhm.
not, I had this trajectory, this career, this was my passion, this was what I was always going to do. And then it was like, this is not for me anymore for various reasons. And I did not have healthy habits. So I also, I was unhappy in my work, but also in my personal life. I think I did all the things that we do when we're not happy. I was
Mhm.
watching too much TV, drinking too much wine, drowning my sorrows. And it just came to this point where I said, okay, I need to get out of this. I
Mhm.
don't know what's in front of me, but I have to leave to pursue that. And so I took a year off and I kind of thought about different things, but it always came back to the coaching. Like I loved the coaching piece. And I also love personal development. And I took a
Mhm.
free Tony Robbins course, and that was amazing because that helped me to start to develop some better habits and change my life. And I just thought, if I can do this for myself, I want to help other women that are in that situation that I'm in to help them get out of that rut and problem solve through and live a better life. And so that's kind of how I became a life coach for women. And I just love helping women to just look and see what are they unsatisfied with, and how do they want to improve, and then how can I help them, and not just telling them what to do, but be that problem solving
Yeah.
partner. Because I'm not the expert, we're none of us are an expert in anything, but it's more about how to help somebody adapt it to their lifestyle and make their changes so that it'll stick too. So it's been a very fun journey.
Well, and one of the words that comes up oftentimes is scaffolding, and I just love that word because it really, I think the definition of scaffolding, and I see that's what you're doing with your clients. So we're actually holding them in order for them then to come into their true selves as to whatever that's going to be. And I love the fact that you said that you got to this point that you weren't happy with where you were at. And I think that happens with a lot of women, that we're a bit more introspective, I think, or we're ready to say, look at, why is this not working? Why am I not joyful? Why am I, what we ask the word why, we really want to know. And when there's ways that you can be feeling more joyful and feeling more grounded and feeling like you're now working, and doing, whether it's work or whatever you're doing, but you're doing it because you're passionate about it and because it's part of your heart and you're filling your soul with it. I really truly believe that, and you can let me know if you think the same way, that women are a bit more open to doing that research and doing that introspective work, which I think is what's so important, is to be introspective as to what's not working for you.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think men are just more like, okay, here's a problem. Tell me how to fix it. I'm going to fix it. Where, yeah, we're thinking about it, we're processing it. I think we have so much going on in our minds too. I mean, I think men don't have any idea how our minds work, but it's just like, okay, I'm doing this, but this, but this. And I also think women put everybody else in front of themselves most of
Absolutely.
the time. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I've got to take care of my kids. I've got to take care of my husband or my partner. I've got to take care of my work. And then it's, oh, well, if there's time for me at the end, I'll do that.
And there
Um,
never is. There's
no,
never time at the end.
yeah,
No.
we never make time for that. And then we show up not as our best selves. So we don't understand that if we did the work and got to where we were, and it's not about being selfish, but it's just about doing the right things for you to be healthy, to show up as your best self for everybody else. It just elevates everybody too. And I love that scaffolding word too. I think that helps me as a coach because that was a huge word in education. I mean, we always wanted to help, whether it was children or adults, like build those building blocks, not just tell them and then you take it and let's go, but, building on what they know and supporting them along the way too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to recognize that one of our holistic practitioners that are on the website, the hub, is Marie Piplovic. She's here. She's an amazing woman who really understands about burnout because that's what happened to her, and also, that she has, in order for her to find the best way that she should be. She's also a conscious breathing facilitator. So Marie's popped in and said, she's has a comment here: showing up half empty or empty, showing up with a half empty or empty cup doesn't help anyone, which is so true. And we don't often think about the fact that when we're giving ourselves that that self I don't want to say self-help, but just that nourishing ourselves in whatever way that looks like for us. It can be very individual, that we are filling up our cups, and we have to have our cups full, in order to be the best people that we can be for others. There's another, one of our practitioners, and she talks about, drinking from the saucer. So your cup is so full that it's
Yes.
now gone onto the saucer. So
Mhm.
so I love that analogy as well. And that's so very true that we really and I don't know about you, but I certainly know as a young girl, I was always encouraged not to really do anything for myself because it was considered selfish and self-centered. And boy, that has been a huge paradigm shift. Go, hey, looking after myself and making sure that I am the best person I can be is not selfish. So,
Right. I think we do view as women self-care as being selfish, and we're not saying don't think of anybody else, don't do anything for anybody else, always put yourself first, or we view it as, oh, it's me taking a bubble bath and reading my book. And that's great, but I think if we just change our minds to self-care is just something to just help us be healthier, live
mm,
healthier, be present, be happier, then it's and then we're modeling for our
yeah,
kids, for our friends, for our family, what it is to take care of yourself and take care of others. So I think it's shifting that focus and shifting the language so that we can show up and be that role model for others, that it's okay to take care of yourself and it's not being selfish. You can do both too.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about some of the healthy habits. What do you, when you have, and maybe even give us a scenario about a client that you've worked with that they were able to shift into their healthy habits. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So I think we all know this. This is general knowledge, but it's always implementing. So I think general healthy habits that we all need to do, we all need to have good sleep.
Yeah.
And so it depends, they say 7 to 9 hours, and I know that's dependent on everybody, but I also say good sleep because we
Yes.
all sleep, but some of our sleep is not great. And so, we talk about how to help better sleep, turning screens off an hour before bedtime, having a bedtime routine, having it dark, having it cool, and also going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time. I know for me, I always view, oh, like weekends I can sleep in. Well, that kind of disrupts our rhythm too. So I think sleep is one thing that people really need to focus on. Exercise, of course. And we're not
Hmm.
exercising to look like supermodels. And I think that's, as women, we view that a lot like, oh, I exercise so I can lose weight and look great. But we all need to exercise every day to just have our body functioning correctly and feel good. And exercise doesn't have to be, okay, I go hit train in the gym 5 days a week for an hour. And I think part of habits is also like, what are you willing to do? So we all need to
Mm.
exercise, and that means move your body. So is that going for a walk? Because that's great. And yes, as women, we need to weight train too. And most of us women do not want to weight train. But what can that look like so that you're willing to do that? Because
Yeah.
we're not going to create a habit if we absolutely don't want to do it and we're
Well,
not.
and that's the truth about a habit, right? If you don't, if you're not going to do it, then it's it's no point in making it a habit because it's not gonna happen. You know, recently I've been reading so much about as we age, we need to have more muscle mass, and so I don't have a lot of time to go to the gym. Actually, I don't even go to the gym anymore. But in my little morning routine, I have some 5 pound weights. So I can incorporate a few of those weight training, if you want to call it that, the curls and I can incorporate that. So that has helped, I think, me get into that habit of looking at, okay, I'm not in the gym and I'm not on a treadmill, but at least I can incorporate my little 5 pound weights for a few reps.
Well, and I think that's a key part of habits, it's not an all or nothing. And if we
Mhm.
become all or nothing, we're never going to implement habits. So what you're saying is, okay, I'm getting 1% better and I'm doing this little thing. And maybe it's not perfect. Maybe it's not all that I need, but it's what I need right now and it's what I'm willing to do. And so that is a key thing on habits. Like just doing something is better than doing nothing and making it accessible to what you're willing to do too.
Exactly. Now, Marie's got a great question here. Wouldn't you say that anything we repeat over and over is a habit? So if we just start doing that with one little fun, healthy thing, we start the process of creating a habit that can support us.
Yes. Well, and habits really are just that small decision and action you make every day. And if we think about our lives are mostly built on our habits. So if you think about what do you do in the morning when you wake up? Do you hit the snooze button or do you jump out of bed? Do you make your bed or do you leave it? Do you drink water? Do you drink coffee? I mean, all of these little things are those habitual little things we
Mhm.
do every day.
Mhm.
And we want to get to a place where we're automating so many of these things for our healthy habits, because especially with women, we have, it seems like a million decisions to make a day. And so, especially at the end of the day, if we have made every decision because we don't have these habits in place, we're exhausted. And when you're tired, you're unmotivated and you're going to make, the maybe not the best choice too. So that's why we want to automate our habits. And especially in the morning, okay, let's have a morning routine. I get
Mhm.
up, I exercise, I drink water. Maybe you meditate, maybe you journal, maybe you pray. Maybe you do a little bit of learning, but it's something that you do every day. And again, it's work to start that habit, but then it's just the thing you do. So you don't have to decide. Like when I wake up, I know I'm not going to hit snooze. I'm going to get up. I'm going to put my exercise clothes on. And so it's taking those decisions away. And it's also, yeah, what Marie said about I'm all about baby steps with habits. And yes,
Mhm.
finding something enjoyable. So it's not you go from no exercise to I'm going to have to run a marathon now because that's not attainable. And so really what you need to do is, okay, I haven't exercised at all and I need to start. I like walking. And so I'm going to start by just putting my shoes on and walking out the door and walking for 2 minutes because we can all do something for 2 minutes. Or if it's weightlifting, I get my weights out and I weight lift for 2 minutes. And then you build little by little on that. So it's not this extreme thing, but it's just, I can do this part. I can do this part. And then by the end of 3 months, you're doing a lot more than you ever thought you could.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so I interrupted you. So we have sleep, we have exercise. What's another great habit?
Well, eating, healthy eating. And I think there's so much information out there, but if we drill it down to eat whole foods, eat what comes out of the ground, if it's in a package, it's probably not that healthy for you. So fruits, veggies, and like you're saying too, building up that muscle protein intake. And
Protein, so important. Yeah.
yeah, and there's all kinds of different, you need this much. But again, just try to do a little more protein, a little more fruits, a little more vegetables in your diet and kind of leave the other stuff out. And I know for me too, another habit tip is that you have to create your environment that's friendly. So if I'm trying to eat healthier, I love chocolate chip cookies. If I have chocolate chip cookies in my house, I'm going to eat them because I could resist it for a little bit, but if they're around, I will eat them.
Not
So
long.
yeah, not long.
My husband brings home chocolate chip cookies and says, "Here, look, I brought you a treat." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, thank you so much, but could you put them over there?"
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, make it easy for yourself. Don't bring the chips in the house. Don't bring the cookies. And I'm not saying don't ever not eat. Like, it's okay to have treats once in a while, but if it's not in your environment, you're less
So
likely.
true.
And
Mhm.
then also, like, prep on Sundays, like chop some vegetables up so they're just easy. And so instead of reaching for that bag of chips, I'm going to reach for that bag of carrots too. So just kind of lessening that resistance helps as well too. So that's eating and then drinking water. We all need to drink more water. And again, if you're a soda drinker, don't bring it in the house. And I love sparkling water now because
Mhm.
kind of fun. And a lot of people say, I just don't like the taste of water. Well, this is a great substitute where you have something that's fresh, it tastes good, it's a little bit bubbly. So if you need to drink more water, maybe incorporate that too. And then the last one is just having a daily gratitude practice. And I
Oh,
think,
so important. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
because our minds are structured to look for the negative. That's just how we are. Our brains haven't evolved too much from our caveman days. And so we're always looking for what's
We think we have, but we haven't evolved that much. No.
we have not. So it's really, and this is the example of the client. I was working with somebody and she was just in a rut. She was down, she was depressed. And so we talked about, incorporating or creating a daily gratitude practice.
Hmm.
And she had no gratitude practice. And so the idea of habit stacking we used because she brushed her teeth every morning. And that was just something she never thought about. She just automatically brushed her teeth. And so what we decided together was, okay, she's going to think about or acknowledge three things she's grateful for and do that while she's brushing her teeth in the morning. And so she put a sticky note on her mirror to remind her. And she just started, and it was just easy. It wasn't like this deep gratitude practice, but it just got her thinking about it. And then we
Mhm.
built it to, okay, what do you do midday? Because that helped her to start her morning out, but it didn't carry through. So now, what's one thing you do midday? Well, I always eat lunch. Okay, while you're eating lunch, let's think about three more things. And so then she began doing that. And then at night, she says that she says her prayers when she goes to bed. Okay, let's really focus on three things that happened and that went well that day. And so it's just building on that gratitude practice to get it more habitual. And then when you start thinking negatively or when your mind goes to that bad place, you can stop yourself and say, "Oh, no, let me think about what I'm grateful for first."
So very, very true. And so Marie has these great gratitude cards.
Oh,
So I'm just wondering, Marie, if you can pop in the chat what the gratitude card says, as long as it's not too, there's not too much wording. I mean, I don't mind reading it out, but it could be a little bit could be a bit wordy for you. I love that. I think the gratitude is so very important. I've been writing a gratitude journal, I don't know how many years, and I do it at night because I like to do it at the end of my day. And I like to sort of reflect on my whole day and what I've been grateful for the whole day. I know other people do it in the morning. There's no right, there's no wrong.
right.
Oh, great. So this is what the card says. Gratitude is my constant companion, enriching my life.
Ooh, nice. I
Very
like.
nice. Yes, very nice. So that is, I love those habits. Those are five very easy habits to follow, right? Very easy habits. And
See,
someone introduced me a while ago to the concept of GEMS, GEM. So the G stands for three things you're grateful for. The E stands for three things you're excited about, because when we get excited about something, that changes all of our brain chemistry, which is very good. And then for the better. And then three things we want to manifest. And so
oh,
I love that whole concept of gems because it's not, it's pretty easy to think of three things that you're grateful for, you're excited about, and that you are wanting to manifest. So that's setting the tone I do it in the morning. So that sort of sets the tone for the rest of my day as to those vibrations called the law of attraction that I'm sending out into the world that I want to come back, the positive ones that I want to come back. So,
that's great. And I love the acronym because it kind of helps you remember the three things too.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And they're gems, right? Like, who doesn't want gems in their life?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just getting to the bottom of the half hour almost. Any other words of wisdom that you have for us, Jessica?
Sure, just a couple more things. I think especially when you're starting to implement habits, make sure it's consistent. So same
Hmm.
time, same place every day, because then your brain kind of triggers to, oh, it's this time or I'm in this place. This is what I'm going to do. So, I do a meditation practice. And so I always have my chair that I do it in, and I do it the same time and same place every single day. And so your brain just connects that
Yeah.
too. And then another one of my favorite tips is, and we talked about this a little bit with water, but the idea of replacing instead of eliminating. Because if we just say, I'm not going to do this, your brain thinks about it and then you obsess about it. So I wanted to stop drinking wine at night because I had a glass or two every night and I was just in that habit of doing it. And so when I decided this is just not the best for me, I decided to replace it with a glass of kombucha instead to start out, because then I could still have that fun drink that I was used to having.
You could put it in a wine glass.
And I did, yes. Then I wasn't missing my wine. And then I kind of got, and then I was like, oh, I don't really even need that anymore, too.
Mhm.
So, like, replacing instead of eliminating.
I like
And
that. Mhm.
yeah, and I think the final thing is we get so caught up on, okay, it takes 30 days, it takes 60 days or 90 days to create this habit, but really it's just based on frequency and time. And so it's a habit as long as you're doing it. And when you stop, it is not a habit anymore.
No longer have it. Yes, right.
So the longer you do it, it's going to get more solidified. But I think we just need to not hold so tight and be like, oh, I have to do this for 30 days and then magically I will do it always. It's just creating that consistency with it.
Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. I love all of those. Well, thank you again so much for being on the podcast today and talking about healthy habits for our wellness and our World Health Month. Um, we have a vision with the Healing Institute. We are a wellness community of health experts and practitioners. We really want to meet our clients where they are, so we customize whatever is needed for them based on what is needed for you as a client. Not cookie cutter, not one size fits all. We do all have a complimentary consultation, a 30-minute consultation that's complimentary, so we can get to know you and get to know exactly what it is that you need. And our motto here at the Healing Institute is service with love. So that is where we are and what we do. And we also have a big ask. We would love you, those of you who are watching, and for those who are watching the recording, to let all of your community, your family, your colleagues, let them know about the Healing Institute and let them know about these amazing practitioners that we have that one hopped on in the back today, Marie Piplovic. She's absolutely amazing. And yes, we are here to help people and help to heal the world. And I am just so delighted that you were able to be on the podcast today. And again, those of you who are watching got to meet her and got to meet this amazing practitioner called Jessica.
Well, thank you, Camille. This was such a great opportunity, and I love the concept of the Healing Institute, and we all need lots of help from lots of different people to just live our best life.
We so do. And Marie says, thank you and happy, healthy habit creating. Yes,
Love
because we do have to create those habits. Yeah.
it.
But they can be healthy and they can be happy and we can be joyful for sure. All right. Um, and so we'll see you all next Friday then on Heal the World Show podcast. Thank you for joining us and have a fabulous day.